Hey, how's it going? I have yesterday and today cards, and I don't really have a topic. Oh shoot, I'm tethered. Hold on, I'm gonna let you get a better look at the signs behind me there. Just, for CYA purposes, entertainment purposes. Okay, so, let's see what we got here. Yesterday's card is the number 5, which seems appropriate because it represents change, like high flux change, which is what we are in the midst of here in the United States, certainly in the world as well. And we're having to make adjustments before we're ready. Everything is unaccustomed right now because we're in times that no one in recent memory has a memory of. And, I mentioned from time to time my feeling that there are bands of, gosh, I don't even know what to call them really. I've been calling it unfinished business, like civil rights. And civil rights is not only black and white stuff. It is, of course, it's important to me, but it's also just minorities and women and people that are physically like disabled or whatever. Like just everyone who's just not like fully able to fully contribute the way someone whole and healthy could, with like working 40 hours or whatever a week. Although it feels like 40 hours is low for people now. And there's a real contradiction too, because in the United States it's so big and it can be so different, and everything is still in generally the same like place, right? And take accents, like there's a northern accent and a southern accent and a valley accent and other sub-regional accents and whatever. It's like all of those are coexisting in the same place, the United States. And so I feel like the bands of unfinished business are like that, but I started getting something that was like, well, it's not overlapping bands crossing the world, which is kind of what I've been seeing. I didn't share that, but that's how I'm seeing them. But then I was getting, but that's not what it is. And I started to feel like, oh, well, are they dimensions? And kind of, but not really that either. I guess they're just like past, like echoes that have animation, because there are people getting fired up by the ideas that are, like I said, they're from the past and they didn't work out well in the past. Well, sometimes they did, because I feel like women's rights and feminism is also under attack. There's a kid out there screaming like he's getting murdered, but then he laughed, so I don't know, man. Anyway, so it's not really other dimensions, but what is it? I don't know. I don't know what they were going for. I don't know even who the they was. Somebody, a voice talking in my head. The one that has really been capturing my attention, though, is like the tensions between black people and white people. And it's not all of the people. Like, I don't run into these problems that these people are having. I know very few white people that are prejudiced, I'm happy to say, because as a minority, it gives you, like, you can relax a little bit. But then something like Nolan Wells happens and you're like, okay, maybe I shouldn't get too comfortable. Because often that is my situation, where I'm the only black one there. in many of my situations, but I'm not at all worried about these people. I mean, if they were gonna kill me, they've had many years to do it. I don't think that's on my bingo card. But and it's not funny what happened to that young man. It's not funny what's happened to the succession of people over, I don't know, centuries that have just been sort of angrily slaughtered because some, I guess, white guy was like, or woman is just mad at you. In fact, like, this makes me so sad. Yesterday, I'm watching a YouTube and it's a clip with this woman talking to her, this girl couldn't have been more than like 4. And she's like, the little girl ate up all the cakes, right, in the package. And the woman's like doing the detective thing, like backing her into a corner saying, well, was it this? Was it that? Was it this? Was it that? So, and then the girl just kept denying it down to the point where you could tell she knew she was busted. And so her Hail Mary was to say, a black man came in and ate them. And I'm like, where the hell did she learn that? She's 4. And the mother gasped. So, I mean, people will tell you that's a learned thing, racism, but you don't necessarily learn it at home, you know? Like, I don't know where that kid's been, and I could have been wrong about the mother's reaction, but the mom seemed pretty shocked. And it was very brief, like it was a short, so I could be mistaken about the tone of all of it, but I don't think so, because that little girl just busted out with, a black man came in and did it, came round and did it, and the mother repeated it back like, just incredulous, because it's not credible. And like that kind of thing, I guess, is genetic. So it's like we've been having to deal with it as long as there've been other people, I guess. It just makes me sad whenever, like, that's the convenient excuse, is blame it on a black person. That sucks, you know? Like, that just sucks. I don't know if you understand why. I'm not sure I can explain it to you, but mainly it's about blaming somebody for something they didn't do, and that person getting in serious trouble of the kind that affects their family, like beyond just the person going to jail. There's so much to it, and it's like people just throw that out there like it's nothing because they know that there's not really that person, but the police will go out and find someone close enough to that person, to that fake person's description, and do their damnedest to put them away and treat them really badly because they think they did something really wrong. And so that's like really fucked up. But it happens all the time. Like, or not all the time, I shouldn't say that, but it has happened a lot over the immense period of time that there's been this tension between black people and white people. And the sad thing is that evidently all people originated from the same little old black woman, Lucy. So doctors know, and scientists know, that that's how everyone's genealogy starts out. Like, that's the beginning where everything grows from. And so that means you are also black. Like, whatever your variation is, you may not look like it, but it's in there. Clark Gable was one of those people. Oh, you didn't know? He was. And I think Jensen Ackles is also one of those people that, well, I mean, you look at him and you might realize that he's something, something other than just white, just because of his color. Like, everything else about him just could be Caucasian, but his shade tells a story. So, anyway, it is like kind of weird feeling for me to talk about this subject, but I also feel like it's safe to now because the fear seems to be ramping up that the white majority is not going to be that anymore. And if you look at it through the prism of they're afraid of becoming the minority, I think because they're afraid that people are going to do to them what they did to other people, but I don't see that happening. And I don't know why they don't get it. Like, there could have been so many uprisings by so many people. I mean, people are well equipped to do that nowadays if they really want to, and yet it doesn't happen. Like, all of the Latino people that have been snatched up and the families separated and all of the terrible treatment, you think all these Latinos don't have guns? No, you know what they have? They have those, but they have self-control. And also, they probably don't blame everything wrong in their life on somebody else because they're too busy going to their job and doing the work and bringing home the money to their families, which is what they really care about. You know, everybody has problems. There may be, you know, what do you call it? When you need the substance, you're hooked to it, but that's not the word I want. But you need it. That happens, but that doesn't make people bad and terrible and wrong. It's the spilling of blood and the restricting of freedom and the stealing and the robbing. Like, those are the bad things, but just like doing the regular grind that you have to do, like, to support your life and your family, that's regular. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, but the people, I heard a great example. I was listening to this lecture today. Maybe I'll post it because it kind of can, like, give you an idea of the direction that I've been feeling. I don't know how else to put it, but he's a professor, I believe, and he's giving this lecture, and he's a white guy, and I believe he's a Southern guy. And the lecture is great, and the people that are there, that stay, are cheering their heads off and screaming and yelling, but there was like kind of a mass exodus of all these white people that were like, I don't want to hear that. So it's like a rollicking lecture. It's actually really good if you can stand to hear it. I don't know how else to put it, but if you can stand to listen to that kind of thing where you're a white person and there's another one telling you like how wrong you are, because that's what it amounts to. And you're not alone. You're not the only wrong people, so don't go all like tragically, oh, we can't take it, it's the worst thing. Shelter the children. And that's another thing, shelter the children. Give me a break. I don't even know like how to react to these removals of like black history or minority history, like the whitewashing of history that they want to be able to teach the white students. And they in this case are parents, I guess, and people of influence, so that the parents can go to like politicians, and they are upset because, and these are the older people. I've never heard any of my peers, especially when I was in school, also sitting there listening as a black child with other generations of black children that have had to sit there. But let me finish what I was saying first. The white kids, the parents and the authorities are saying the history is too harsh, like it makes white people look bad, and you know, I think they're worried about being hated. But again, if that's gonna happen too late, like if they're gonna hate you, they already do, so you're silly. And by the way, what has it done to you? Probably nothing, really. So also silly, please be quiet. The black people, though, the kids sitting in the classroom listening to that, let me tell you what I thought while I was learning the history, particularly the black history, where they even tell you about lynching and stuff, and people getting kidnapped and killed for, like, whistling at a woman, which the white men don't get killed for that. They can whistle at anybody, and nobody's going to try to kill them. Funny that, isn't it? No, it is really not. It's not funny at all. What I felt like sitting there listening was, at first, nothing. And then and I'm talking about the same day in the same lesson. First, nothing, just interest. I'm like, oh wow, that really sucks, and oh wow, that really sucks. And then the really suckses just kept piling up to the point where I felt almost like I felt like when I walked out of the theater after I saw They Live. I thought, oh shit, am I under siege here? Am I safe? Because I'm one of, like, in that particular class, the only black kid, and everybody else mostly was white. There were, like, Latino kids and a couple of Japanese kids, but the German girl also white. And German, so there's a significance to that, but I'm not saying this was there, but if you're an adult these days, it is. Yahtzee! So, yeah, I mean, I just realized at one point, oh my god, and they're just like talking about it like it's nothing. That's like a lot of people that died because of you people. So, I mean, I'm having, and this is like a kaleidoscope of realizations, because also, hi, look at me, my mom's white, so it makes it all the more confusing. But when I was with her, I looked enough like her that no one questioned her having a black child. But there are a lot of times where that's not the case, like you just can't tell, so it looks weird kind of to everyone, except for like open-minded people that maybe have blended families of some kind, where, or even just like a black family, like within the same family, the people can look drastically different. So maybe it's like easier, like you don't get as much shade from a minority family, a black or brown family. But it wasn't like a comfortable feeling, you know, because also you learn it, they don't still do it this way. They don't even want to teach it to you at all. So I guess I should be considering myself fortunate that I even got to know anything. But they didn't just teach it to you in one grade. You get it over several years. And so it also develops into more as you get older and able to, I think, I don't know how much they considered this, but the older you get, the better you're able to take the hits, let's call it. And so, you know, it's just like this thing of like, wow, you are really just sitting there calmly telling me what your people did to my people like it's nothing. And I don't know what they're supposed to do, like drop to their knees and apologize. I don't want that. I don't want that. But I do think that there needs to be some kind of more and better acknowledgement of the treatment of black people. Like, look at the way, like, even if you suggest it today to some people, get all mad and start cursing you out, and it's like, this is exactly what we're talking about, though. There are people that react like that to us, and it's like, they're the ones that do bad and weird and mean things to us. And so it makes me think, like, okay, so, like, have we done something to them first to make them this way? Like, are we showing up at their house, burning religious iconography on their lawns? No. Are we ganging up on them, or are we seeing them exercising on the street and trying to run them down with our car or shoot them? No, who does that? They do it to us? Who does that? It's like, it's just becoming more frantic and more, we did nothing, it's everyone else's fault, including the slaves. You jumped onto them ships. You flogged yourselves. It's like ridiculous. Because they're freaking out, I think, and panicking because the thing they've been screaming and crying about is actually coming true finally. And they're losing it. And it's dumb because if anything were going to happen retaliatory-wise, it would have happened already. It's like, this stuff ain't new. We have plenty to be, I guess, upset about if we wanted, but you don't really see us, any of us, with melanin doing any of that stuff. It's like the lack of the melanin has driven you people nuts. So, rant concluded. Number 5 card. When one seeks another for recognition, one seeks love within thy own heart, not yet found. Encompass the love that dwells within you, for thee shall never seek outside for what already beholds within. So this is actually the today card, but that's all right. They are linked, I think. So the last part is what's striking me here. For thee shall never seek outside for what one already beholds within. When you can see within yourself the love and the confidence that you need to walk the world and be amongst people that will say and do really terrible things in front of you and act like it's nothing and it wouldn't have any effect on you or hurt you or anything like that. All I did was say words. What pisses people off the quickest and the most anytime ever in life? Words. It's pretty simple, but they will, if you'll pardon the expression, fuck you up. So, we often, I think, the root of our acting up, because we often act up, all of us. I'm not even going to try and separate it, because we all do it in some form or another. And it makes sense through my own work, like self-care and shadow work and that, but when you can't find what you need within yourself, like you don't have self-confidence and you don't have self-dignity and you don't have self-preservation even, that's leaving a lot wide open for, you're either handing the responsibility off to somebody else, or someone can just come up and take it from you if you're just sort of loosely holding on to something that's actually of vital importance to sort of your mental stability. You want to be in control of yourself as much as possible. It's not obsessive, it's not weird. What's weird is just being so lax and uncaring that someone can come along and like grab your lead and mislead you, or lead you down the wrong path or whatever it is. Like, you kind of have to like participate in your own events, like whatever happens in your life. Like if you're just there as an observer and you're not lifting a dang finger, you can't really like complain about what other people are doing to you, because you kind of are like handing them permission to do things to you. And I think that comes from not being self-assured or self-confident or having dignity, like feeling like you need to feel like you're worth the dignity, and if you don't pull it from deep inside of yourself and wear it and own it, then you are going to get taken advantage of, and you can't really blame other people if you don't try yourself. So the other card is number 29. 2 and 9 make 11 is like my favorite number. I think I've mentioned it before. But it's kind of like the awakening to everything. Like 11 like is the indicator of the dual male and female divine selves we have within that. I think they kind of like direct your storms or stillness emotionally. Okay, so anyway, this card reads, "Thou that seeks assistance to find themselves shall be given the key returning to freedom." The key to returning to freedom through thy sacred heart. So I mean that makes sense because like you can like I explained, if you didn't know before, you can find you can reach deep down and find strength. You have to know that at least is a excuse me, a well-known concept. This is talking about maybe you have reached within yourself, or maybe you don't really understand like the technique to do that. Like, what is the mechanism you are going to use, or that you are after once you start seeking within? Maybe you need a little guidance to know, like, well, wait a minute, well, what am I even looking for? Like, I understand like there's strength and such in there, but just think of it as a muscle, like with strength. Like, literally, if you don't keep exercising and working out, your muscles will stop being strong. That's how it works. So, maybe you need some weight training. Like, you don't know how to do it. You need a little guidance. And that's fine. I think that some of the most accomplished people I've ever known still practice their craft, still... Well, I was thinking of a musician in particular. He wasn't much for, like, asking for other people's advice or anything. And that's a shame. Like, we never know all of everything. And even someone that you would think is not qualified to teach you anything can definitely teach you something. Like, don't you learn from children and pets? Like, they don't have degrees. So, I mean, we can be open-minded about where the source of learning is, And I think that both of these cards are, like, kind of perfect for the time being, the time right now, because, like I was saying in the beginning, we're in new ground. We don't all of us know how to react. Some of us have a handle on... We just kind of knew it was coming, or learned from others that things were coming, and that preparation mentally was going to be necessary. I mean, I didn't know specifically what was coming, but I could just see, like, things converging into, oh, that ain't going to be good or smooth or easy. But the thing about when time periods are that way is we are going to roll out of it. I definitely feel that, because some things are just going to resolve themselves. Like, we got a bunch of angry old men sort of running some pretty serious things, and I don't mean this in an ill will way, but they're all, like, sick and dying. So the claws don't seem as sharp as they once were. When you know the time is limited for something really terrible, and you know that the really terrible stuff is going to end when the time runs out, we can all look forward to some relief. So it's just a fact. It is true. I didn't make them sick. They just are. They're all causing problems. The main three would be Trump, Putin, and Netanyahu. But the Saudis are over there now, I don't know, seemingly causing trouble with the aid of Russia for us, our ally. Like, our allies, our current president doesn't know how to pick friends. Our allies stink. Anyway, that's all for now. Thank you and good night.